What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be following up on something we talked about 2 days ago, that being a possible air quote leak and new rumor within the Call of Duty community on what 2017 will be all about, the Call of Duty title that launches this coming November. So, the rumor we discussed here the other day dealt with the idea of a Modern Warfare prequel, or something therefore along the lines of that general idea. While I am admittedly very skeptical to the actual report that came out here with it just seems a little too specific and a little bit too unconfirmed in how it was brought about, how it actually came to the general public. It was a random forum post, and so that really makes me very skeptical here on it, but the idea got me thinking more than anything else on what potentially could happen if we were to follow this Modern Warfare prequel storyline, because I've had a lot of ideas in my head for Call of Duty 2017, but I've never really thought of, or never really played around seriously with the idea of a Modern Warfare prequel and that sort of thing within the storyline. But it actually could work out absolutely brilliantly, and we could have some marketing tools that right now may lead up to this, why it would be happening this coming year, why we have some things right now. So I want to talk a little bit about this here today. It's of course 100% all theory speculation. In no way, shape, or form is this confirmed, so take it all with a grain of salt. It's just my thoughts and discussion on a topic that is still relatively intriguing and certainly is still relevant due to how recent this rumor is in the general grand scheme of things. So for those that did not see the video 2 days ago, I'll leave an annotation on screen or card so you can click it and check out the video if you want to, but a little brief recap and just too long didn't read version is that somebody posted on a forum site that they had some information on Call of Duty 2017, that a company or a game developing company, more specifically Sledgehammer Studios, came to their offices in their firm, that being Lockheed Martin, who is known universally for work in aerospace dynamics and engineering, that Sledgehammer came to them asking for some information about a stealth plane used in the 90s, and one of the things that came up in a presentation, therefore following the research they did, made it seem very much so like that Captain Price would be returning in this, and that there would be a mission focused around the Troubles in Northern Ireland. So this is a little bit too specific at times, maybe sometimes a little too vague within the description, but it's something that got everybody thinking because, well, that's a storyline that could have been right under our noses this whole time, and nobody really would have picked up on it. The Scent of Vietnam may have sent some people off the real trail if this is in fact to be the case. Once again, while I don't think that it might in fact turn out to be the case, the idea that it could be is still rather intriguing. So how would this work out just so well? Well, firstly, it'd be boots on the ground because it'd be the early 90s, early 2000s at the latest. So it'd be a past conflict, something that is still relatively modern, but boots on the ground 100% confirmed, because right now, unless it's an alternate reality, there's nothing that really makes exosuits or flying around anything a real possibility in war, at least that the public knows about. So this is something that would bring Call of Duty back to the classic roots of boots on the ground, no crazy combat like that, just fighting action straight up, and it's something that a lot of people would definitely love, but it also attaches to perhaps one of the best-selling gaming series, and not only the first-person shooter genre category, but gaming of the modern era overall. Modern Warfare is definitely one of those series and trilogies that will go down in gaming history, especially for this time frame, the last 10 years or so within gaming. It's just been a massive force. So if you attach a game onto this, well, I guarantee you the sales numbers that decreased with Infinite Warfare, I guarantee you those spike way back up, probably outselling the best of the most recent CODs, probably that being Black Ops 3, into sales, and it just catapults Call of Duty to a brand new level once again. So that's something that just simply attaching the name onto it could do absolute wonders. But where would the storyline go? Where would multiplayer go if this in fact was to be the case? Well, I personally think the story could be setting up the backstories of our major characters going into Modern Warfare and, say, Modern Warfare 2. The rumor that we saw with Price was very specific. It mentioned Task Force 141, and it also mentioned the Troubles in Northern Ireland. For those of you guys that don't know what the Troubles is, it was a conflict from 1968, or relatively around there, to around 1998 in Northern Ireland. And it was a conflict between the Loyalists and the Republicans, who were fighting over whether or not Ireland should become its own Irish state or that it remained a part of the United Kingdom. So that conflict was happening right around that time, and it could fall into the place that Price may have been a part of this. He might have been fighting for one side or the other, and therefore then catapults him into the 90s, where it could set up the other part of this air quote rumor and leak that there was the mention mention of Bravo 2-0, who was a British SAS patrol in the First Persian Gulf War in 1991. So you see where I'm going with this. It could set up different backstories and give more context to our characters we've already known and loved, and also provide us with a lot more detail and a campaign of its own. Now, once again, if it is a prequel, we could possibly see the formation of Task Force 141, the origin stories of, say, Shepard, possibly before he went rogue, Price, Soap, McTavish, Ghost, and many others within the task force. I think that'd be a really cool and unique perspective to go here with this, because a lot of people love seeing these characters, and a lot of people want more of the lore and the storyline explained to them perhaps within this campaign. And if it plays on the multiple perspective level that the Modern Warfare series did, it'd be easy to jump around to different conflicts and different backstories and then have everybody meet up towards either the middle or the end and then set up Modern Warfare. That'd be a cool little way to do this, I think, where it leads right into Modern Warfare. But what about the multiplayer aspect? We didn't really touch on this too much. Well, I think it would just really work out just like how a Modern Warfare would. It doesn't have to really necessarily be based off of anything right now. If it does follow, say, a storyline within this where there are multiple perspectives, we get different conflicts going on at one time, and not, say, a World War III, like Modern Warfare was focused off of that entire series, then it would be something that you could jump around, you could have various different maps, but still have boots on the ground COD with a modern arsenal of weaponry very similar to, if not identical to, a lot of the weapons within Modern Warfare Remastered and the Modern Warfare series as a whole. So it'd be something very easy to do, especially this past year with maybe some hints that we were given within this year of Call of Duty. So that said, what about these little hints that may already be out here? Maybe there's something a little bit different that maybe points towards the idea of this happening, and it might be under our noses already. Once again, as before we enter this next part, this is all 100% speculation. I think that this is definitely reaching, but it'd be very cool if it in fact happened. So I'd love to maybe one day come back to this and say, you know what, that theory was right, but I don't know if that'll actually happen, and probably it won't happen. So this is just food for thought to kind of fuel this mentality and this idea that I have in my mind, and is purely speculative. But what if Modern Warfare Remastered could have been a tool to hint at this coming in a subtle manner? I mean, think about it. Bring back the hype and reintroduce the series to the mainstream public. We haven't seen a Modern Warfare game since 2011 with Modern Warfare 3, and that's something that 5 years later, that is still a long time. Well, 5 years since it actually left, and we got it replaced by Black Ops 2. But for many players, 5 years is a long time to pick something up after just immediately leaving it off, and especially for new players that never really, say, maybe got the chance to live the Modern Warfare games out in their entirety in their lifespan. That's something that they never knew how awesome the campaign was, the multiplayer was, things like that, and they were just introduced to Call of Duty at a newer time, so introduce this to them at this point in a remastered form, but maybe subtly hint that once again we could see a return here to this. If you add that thought on top of the thought of DLC coming in Modern Warfare Remastered via supply drops, a lot of the stuff is focused on the Modern Warfare series as a whole, not necessarily just Modern Warfare specifically. Some of these weapons we saw exclusively in Modern Warfare 2, so a lot of people kind of think that maybe now this remaster is going to take an overarching approach to the Modern Warfare series, where it's not just COD 4 remastered, it's instead the Modern Warfare series remastered, which is an interesting theory to think about. But if this were in fact the case, this could add into this whole reintroduction theory that I'm bringing up now, where Modern Warfare is reintroduced as a series into the mainstream and then therefore picked up upon and then acting as a transition into this prequel that we have coming, say, in 2017 theoretically. That'd be something that I think would be very cool, re-immersing players fully in not only just Modern Warfare, but the entire universe as a whole, and let them pick right back up almost as a transition lasting into the year of a new game. So this whole past year could potentially be a transition from the massive change in not boots on the ground, but flying around combat, to boots on the ground, but also bringing it back into a more focused and centralized version of the Modern Warfare series. So I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Whether or not it happens, once again, I think that it's probably going to not happen. This is probably just me with my tinfoil hat on, but I like to think about this kind of stuff. I think it's cool to theorize where it could go and maybe take a look at these as not just things that we've been given, but maybe hints for things that may still yet to come. So all in all, do I think a Modern Warfare prequel will happen? More than likely not. I think that definitely it would be very cool. I would love to see this, honestly, don't get me wrong. If this in fact turns out to be the case and my theory on this is wrong in terms of saying that it won't happen, I would be ecstatic. I would be the happiest person to ever admit that they were wrong, and that's something that I would totally look forward to as a result. I'm looking forward to, say, a Vietnam Call of Duty, boots on the ground Call of Duty by Sledgehammer as it is, but it is something that if this turns out to be the case, I'd be just as happy with it, if not even more enthralled. But right now, all we have is an unconfirmed rumor by a source that is incredibly unconfirmed. It is a random forum post, but it did in fact stir up a little bit of a discussion and a little bit of a buzz within the community because it got people thinking, what if this could happen? So that is where I turn it over to you. What do you think here about this? Do you think this is something that could potentially happen, that it is a possibility within the Modern Warfare series that we get a prequel? Because there is definitely still no doubt a massive amount of players that love the series, that love the campaign, that love the characters within it, and I think that no matter how you spin it, if this were in fact to happen, it'd be a win-win for everybody. A win for Activision and Call of Duty as sales get back up there to where they used to be. The longevity of Call of Duty is maybe increased by another couple of years, and then for the fans, those who loved especially the nostalgia could relive some of their favorite games back in their prime and get some more clarity to some of the things that happened within it. But also for those that are still relatively new to Call of Duty and didn't really, say, experience Modern Warfare and the entire series whenever it was in its prime, they could relive this in a sense for themselves and start at the very beginning or before the beginning with us all here as a second go. But that said, that's my thoughts on it. I think that this would be fantastic and a great way to do this, but whether or not it actually happens, I once again couldn't tell you, and more than likely it probably won't because it seems a little bit too good to be true. So that said, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. One can hope maybe for a Modern Warfare prequel. Leave your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Do you want to see this? Do you guys like the idea? But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything Call of Duty 2017, Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, all that good stuff we got you covered here on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys have a question you want to ask me, if you guys want to just strike up a casual conversation, feel free to. That link is down there in the description. But thank you dudes so much for watching. My name is Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Take care and peace.